Salam everybody and welcome back to the Majlis podcast where we talk about all things Afghan. Today we're excited to host Johnny Fornbacher, a standout figure in the basketball world. Johnny is a former collegiate basketball player with a degree in Kinesiology and a renowned professional skills trainer. He's worked with players of all levels from youth to pros and has collaborated with top NBA trainers like R2Bball and Jordan Lawley. We're looking forward to hearing about his journey, his training philosophies, and the insights he's gained throughout his impressive career. Johnny, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you guys for having me.
Of course.
Welcome.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum
Salam, bro. Love it. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about your professional career. You're young and you're still, just on your way up. Mm-hmm. But one interesting thing about you is that that we haven't had with our other guests is that you're of mixed heritage. Yeah. So I'm very interested in talking about that. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, definitely. So my mom's the Afghan side. So everyone on my mom's side is Afghan. I have like 3 uncles, couple aunties, got a lot of cousins. Like 3 of them are like doctors, mashallah. Like my family heritage on that side is just beautiful. Like I love Afghan culture. Like whenever I'm back home, like the food, like Mansoor.
Oh yeah.
Palau. Like my mom's palau is so fire. Like yeah, I love, like I grew up with that my whole life, and it definitely means a lot to me. And then my dad is from America. He's full like American. He's white. And like it was definitely interesting just to grow up with like 2 different side of the world, like 2 parents from 2 different places. Like my dad, he actually kind of left when I was younger. Like he was still around, but it was mostly just me and my mom and my sister. So like it was us 3. Like we kind of like went through life just trying to figure things out. I would see my dad like here and there, but he wasn't around too much. But yeah, it's definitely just like just an interesting story. If that makes sense.
Shout out to mom.
Yeah, man, mom's everything.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, because I heard it in your answer. You said when you go back home, have you been to Afghanistan?
So I was talking about like when I go back home to like the Bay.
Oh, okay.
If we're in SD.
No,
I haven't been to Afghanistan. I want to though. One
day.
That's my goal.
Inshallah.
Same. I haven't been there either, man. I really want to go. Yeah, I really want to go.
Bro, I want to just see what it's like. My mom always told me it was beautiful.
Yeah.
What stories do you hear about Afghanistan that like really get you?
Dude, like honestly, like the crazy thing is my mom like went back. She was a translator.
Oh, okay.
So she like went back and like she just would tell me stories of like talking to kids out there, and just honestly like it just changed my perspective, because like there's people out there that really like struggle out there.
Yeah.
And like we see struggle out here. Like I'm not trying to knock anybody who goes through hardships, but like living in the West, like it's nothing to living out there. I feel like it just doesn't compare. And like just hearing of like what it's like out there from my mom, it just makes me more like grateful and appreciated. So that's something it's just touching.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. But I always see TikTok videos of like the kids, like honestly even my age or like younger, and the struggles they go through.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you've ever seen it, but like I've seen videos of like little 5-year-old like kids, like girls, like selling stuff on the street just to
seriously,
like, work.
bro.
It's tough.
Bro, I know. Like I can never, like once I learned more about that, I was like, bro, like I can't be, I'm not depressed, bro. Like get up, bro. Like get to work.
Yeah.
Like I'm so blessed to be like in America. Like it's just, it just doesn't compare.
I think what it does is when you see those struggles,
yeah,
those first world problems, they start to like get filtered out of your system.
bro.
You're like, oh, you start to complain about something. You're like, wait, no. First world problem.
Bro.
I'm okay. Yeah. I'm not depressed. You know what I mean?
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Like everything out here is literally like most of it is in our control. Like you can get to where you want to get to in life if you just really like, if you lock in and find the resources, I believe like there's always a way out. Like you can always find a way to elevate yourself, especially in the West,
Yeah.
Living out here. So I've just been trying to take advantage of it.
Wow. And where in America did you grow up?
So I really grew up in the Bay Area.
Bay Area.
Yeah, like my city was called Concord.
Oh, I'm familiar with Concord.
Yeah.
I work in Richmond, so I'm like, I know I think it's nearby. But did you grow up in Concord most of your life?
Yeah, most of my life. Like I never lived anywhere. This is my first time like living on my own in like a different city, like San Diego. I did go to college like out of state for like 1 year, but I was like still in school. So, but this is really like I'm living out here, like just away from Concord.
Wow.
My own apartment and everything.
I haven't done anything drastic like that, but I know I know the challenges of like when you that first time when you leave home and you're fully on your by yourself. Yeah, it's definitely a transition. So, how has that like been for you so far?
It's been like I would say a little challenging, you know, just because you know I used to live with my mom and I was just used to everything. Like I was used to like the gym, like my job, school out there, like so coming out here I had to just find my own routine and figure out like what's my plan, like you know what's my daily routine, like so it's definitely just been a lot different, I guess, but it's good. Like I like change. I think it's good to like get uncomfortable sometimes, right, and just figure things out, because I think that's how you grow as a person.
No, 100%. I think you learn a lot about yourself when you move out and you live on your own.
That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah. The thing is, like, you know, especially with like Afghan moms, they do almost everything for their kids.
See, exactly. Like my mom, like when I'm home, like has rice made, like all this and that. Like, you know, now I'm home, like I gotta cook, like I gotta clean, like I gotta do all that. So it's definitely different.
That was gonna be like my first question for you. Like, are you learning how to cook? Do you call your mom or are you eating out? You know, what are you doing,
bro? Like like seriously, I'm never home right now. Like these last 2 months have been a grind, and we can go into that. But like, literally, we have eggs, we have some meat at home, like some fruit. Like I'm literally, if I cook, bro, it's like once a day. Like make something real quick, and I'm out the door. Like so. It's definitely been like kind of crazy.
We're gonna get to that. Yeah, we're gonna have to get to this. How you got here?
Yeah. Man, let me ask you, just to go back to where you grew up in the Bay Area. Did you have a strong like Afghan community presence in the area you lived? Because I think there's a lot of Afghans that do live in Concord. But were you surrounded by Afghans at an early age or growing up?
Yeah, I would say at a very young age I was. Like I lived with my mom and my sister, like my uncles and my cousins. I knew a lot of people from the mosque, like in my area. Like, was it really consistent with me? No. Because I think like as I got a little older, like I actually like just fell in love with basketball, and like I really focused on that a lot. Like as I got to like middle school, high school, like I had a weird transition. I talked about it earlier, but my mom left to go back to Afghanistan. She like worked as a translator for like 5 years. So like when she did that, I went back with my dad. So I lived with my dad in like middle school. And that was the time where like I really started playing basketball like all the time. Like I was in middle school, like going to parks. Like my dad's not Afghan, so like I wasn't actually around the Afghan community as much, right? Like at all. Like I would see my cousins here and there, but like in terms of Concord, no, I just wasn't really around it. Yeah. But like I lived with my dad in like middle school till like my sophomore year in high school. So like just those years where like I was really playing basketball, going to school, like I was just focused. Yeah. Because I just had a goal of like wanting to play, and like I wanted to play in college. So like like not as much as I got as around that age, but then like when my mom came back, I would say I started to like slowly see more people and like realize my culture. Yeah. And like I got closer to my Deen as I got older. So yeah, I would say now I am.
And you know, I understand that because maybe you could speak out to this too. When you're like middle school, high school, I mean, I don't know. For me as well, like culture wasn't really important to me.
Yeah,
like,
it just wasn't important to me. Yeah.
You're just focused on like whatever's going on in your life at that moment.
Exactly.
And when you're young, you're very narrow-minded. Like you just focus on 1, 2, 3 things, and that's like your life. Like for me, like it was going to the gym and like playing video games. Like that's all I cared about. I didn't care about anything else.
Yeah. That's how I was. So like I honestly wish I was more connected as a young kid. Yeah. Like, it took me growing up to realize how important that is, you know? that's why I'm glad I'm doing this.
Yeah. No, thank you.
No,
we
yeah.
want people like you to come
Yeah.
on, because there's a lot of people that are in the same shoes, but at a young age,
Yeah.
and eventually when they get older, hopefully they have that same, turnaround later down in
yeah,
life.
for sure. I think it's very important.
A lot of people, like, when they're young, like, they're, when you're going to school and stuff, you're a little shy of your culture and stuff.
Yeah.
You don't know how to, like,
You don't know. Yeah.
outwardly, like, portray it. You're gonna be like, are they gonna think I'm weird, this and that? But, like, as you get older, you lose that shyness. You're like, this is who I am, this is my
Exactly.
culture, this is my
Man.
background. And like, you start to learn that, just because other people maybe didn't like it or maybe don't understand it doesn't mean it's wrong, or doesn't mean this might even be better, this might even work out better for me.
Yeah.
So like, I was gonna ask you, like, what's like one Afghan tradition or something about the culture that's like important to you, or something that you cherish?
Oh yeah, bro. I just love how family orientated we are. Like
Yeah.
everything is like family first, and it that's common in a lot of traditional family homes. But like I just feel like us, like our family, like our cousins, our uncles, even our brothers at the mosque, like we're all like together.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I just feel like you lack that in other countries, especially out here. Like
Yeah.
I'm not trying to disrespect anyone, but like I've had friends, like American friends, and I'm cool with them. I still like them, but it's just not the same, Like
Yeah.
our backgrounds just really aren't the same. Like I just feel more connected
Yeah.
with like people from like our culture, like and background, It's just having that strong like family ties.
Yeah. And it's not even their fault,
Yeah.
because like it's how you were raised,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what was
You can't help
instilled
it.
to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I definitely feel that. Like even when I'm with my coworkers sometimes, like I know like what's important to me is like very different than what's important to them, in the sense of like family, like
Mhm.
like values that come from like Islam, being like
Yeah.
religious and stuff.
Exactly.
So there's always like that disconnect, where you just
Mhm.
can't relate to them. So I feel you on that. I feel that I feel like that happens a lot with like people that live here in America that are
Yeah.
Afghan or Muslim in general.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I definitely know what you mean.
And I didn't realize that until I got like around this age, like the last couple of years, It made me, that's like around the last couple of years is when I really like started to appreciate and realize like what I have is like a blessing, just being Afghan, being a Muslim.
Yeah.
I love that community aspect and like where our families come from,
Would you ever like go to Afghanistan and train basketball there?
If I could, yes, bro, in a heartbeat. Bro, that'd be so sick.
Yeah, it's like the dream, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to go to the Middle Eastern countries. Like, it's so far. Like, I want to go so bad.
Heck yeah. I think this is a good segue to get into kind of like, well, the thing I want to ask you is how did you get into basketball?
Basketball?
Yeah. Where did it start?
Where did it start? Yeah, so it started around the middle school age, like 6th, 7th grade. I would say that period of time was like, it was pretty hard. I was so used to living with my mom, and all of a sudden I just changed to living with my dad. So like, I don't know, I think I used basketball kind of like as a way to just clear my head and just, kind of like a distraction almost. Like it was just fun. Like it was fun playing it. I wasn't really good, but then like I really wanted to get good. Like it was just like, it's so fun. I don't know. It kind of like just happened out of nowhere. But I started playing a lot in middle school. Played for like a church league. My dad put me in. Played like CYO. I don't know if you heard of that. Like it's just kind of like different churches play. I don't know. It's in the.
It's just like leagues?
Yeah, it's just like leagues.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started doing that. I would say like I started working with like a trainer like here and there when I was like in 8th grade, but it just wasn't consistent.
Yeah.
Mostly everything I did was on my own, like just learning, like playing at the parks, playing at 24, just trying to play against older people and get better. And then like high school, that's when I really was like, oh, I want to do this in college. Like this, like I want to try to get a scholarship. So I really like locked in high school. Like that's when I got my first like real trainer when I was like a junior, and like I was in the gym every day, like literally every day, like playing pickup, shooting, like playing with my teammates from high school. We would play ones every day in the summer. Like my whole life in high school was basketball. My mom hated it.
That was gonna be my question. Was like, did your parents support you in your basketball journey?
My mom supported me, but she was like, I don't know. You know how Afghan moms are. Like, just like always like, you keep getting hurt. Like,
oh yeah,
you're doing this. Like, oh, why don't you go make some money? Like, I don't know. Like she supported it, but at the same time, like, she's just a mom, you know?
Yeah.
Just low key, you know, always feeling like I can do, like, you know, it's not like a stereotypical thing, but I would say, like, in my family is like, oh, you're going to be like a lawyer, you're going to be a doctor, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. And I'm just like, I want to be a basketball player.
Yep.
Completely different from the vision.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, to your point, I wrestled like from 6th grade to like, you know, to the end of high school.
Yeah.
And my mom came out to only one of my one of our games. And her biggest thing, oh, you're gonna get hurt, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So, typical, you know. Typical. Yeah,
that's how I feel like how most Afghan moms are like that.
They are. For sure, bro, for sure.
But yeah, she still let me play. And she came to a few games when I was my junior and senior year.
That's good.
And then yeah.
Did she? You said you wanted to be like, you wanted to go far in basketball, right?
Oh yeah.
Did she support you? And her and your dad, did they support you in like going that far, or was it more like what you said, trying to follow the Afghan trilogy of becoming a lawyer, doctor, engineer?
So my mom, she did support me. I would say that. My dad did too, as much as he could. But like my mom was just here and there saying little things, like, you know. But she still supported me, so I do seriously appreciate that. So like after high school, I didn't really have any offers. I'll be honest. Like when I was in high school, I wasn't that good. Like I did okay. I averaged like maybe like 8 to 10 points. But I started like my junior and senior year, but I just wasn't good enough yet to like go somewhere or get an offer. So then like once I graduated high school, that's when I like really like evolved and got a lot better. Like I took like a red shirt year or a gray shirt year after my first year of high school, and I just like locked in. Like I didn't play for a season, and I just was in the gym every day, like working. Like I got stronger, I got bigger. I got better, and then that I think was the key point. Like after high school, when I was like, oh, I can really go play somewhere. Like I can play at a Division II, maybe Division I. So that was the big turning point.
So you never gave up on your dreams, like even after like high school, no offers. Like you still were committed to finding a way.
Yeah, I didn't want to give up like at all, and I didn't, honestly. So like I stuck it out. I eventually played at a couple of community colleges. I had a lot of injuries that kind of held me back, and then I signed to a NAIA, like a small school in Kansas. So I played 1 year out there.
Nice.
It was crazy, but yeah, that's what happened.
Was there like a switch that flipped in that year where you took a year off?
Yeah. That year is crazy. So like basically what happened was like after high school, I was gonna go play at a school like called DVC, but like I wasn't good enough. So like I just took a gray shirt year, and that's like when your year doesn't count, and you take like classes not full time. So I was in like 2 or 3 classes, but I had so much free time. So like I really used that time and I dedicated it to just getting better and changing my game. And I didn't want to go back to DVC, so I transferred to another school called LMC, like Los Medanos. And I was doing really good. Like I was definitely gonna be like in the rotation, getting a lot of minutes, but I got injured. So like I had like a pretty serious injury. So like going into that year, I was actually diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but like you never heard of it.
I haven't heard of it.
You haven't? Yeah.
I've actually heard of it, but I don't know what it is.
Okay. Yeah. So it's basically like your body kind of attacks your stomach. Like it just inflames it.
Okay.
So it made me like hella sick. So like after that 1 year, I felt like I really got good. And then like the start of that second year, boom, everything just like crashed down.
Wow.
So I got hella sick. I was in the hospital probably like 6-7 months, just like constantly in and out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, bro. But like I still didn't want to give up. My mom, like, yo, like I have like my family coming to see me in the hospital. Like they were like hella worried about me. Like honestly, we didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
When I first got hella sick, we didn't know like what it was or like what was going on.
Yeah.
But like once we figured it out, it took a while for me to like get healthy. But thankfully, like I got like medicine, and I still actually take treatment for it. But I take like a treatment, and it kind of keeps it like cool, so it doesn't affect me. So I'm able to stay healthy. And then so after that, I just stuck to it. Like I kept working. Like
this is after you've already like came out of the hospital and you're starting to recover.
Yeah. So like 6 months later, I got out. Got another trainer. Like he was helping me with my body. I was in the weight room, like working on conditioning, cardio. Like I was in the gym every day, and I stuck through it. And then I eventually, like, what happened was the following year was COVID. So like I played the COVID year, and I was pretty healthy. I did pretty good. We only had a few games because it was like a shortened season, but I basically like sent out my film to a bunch of schools, like, because I still wanted to play, but I had finished my classes, so I couldn't stay at a community college anymore.
Yeah.
And then from that, the school in Kansas gave me an opportunity, and I took it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like a 3-year span.
I gotta ask you this because just from an athlete's perspective, I know like what can kill an athlete is like just mentally just being like very fatigued or just like mentally not being there.
Mm-hmm.
How did you do it, man? How did you mentally just stay locked in after like going through that for 6-7 months? Like what helped you? What did you do?
Just like, honestly, it was just like I didn't want to just give up, you know? Like I honestly wanted to be the guy who came back from it and like still accomplish his goal. You know, like I'm very hard on myself when I say I'm gonna do something. Like I'm gonna do it. So like I just hold myself to that standard, and like I knew it would pay off somehow, some way later on if I just stuck to it.
And I give you a lot of props because I think like 9 out of 10 people would be completely devastated because you said you felt like you were at your peak when this happened.
Yeah, bro.
So like I remember a little short story for me. I remember I was playing basketball. I knew I was gonna make the high school team, and I was not good enough to ever make it. But my sophomore year, I had a real shot, and then I broke my hand, and then I couldn't try out. I got screwed in that period. But I remember mentally just like how devastating it was, and recovering from that is like, I know it's so hard. I mean, I see it with professionals, like, you know, you hear about it like Klay Thompson, you know?
Yeah.
So like the fact that you just never gave up and just still stuck through it, even through that, is, man, props to you. Props to you.
I appreciate it, you know, and that's a big thing that I just carry with me today. And when I like help train players and help work with them, is just having that mindset that like nothing can stop you unless you let it stop you, you know? Like if you really want to do it, you can do it. I'm a big believer in that.
Do you think you got to be a little stubborn to make it?
Oh yeah, you got to be stubborn, you got to be a little selfish.
Yeah.
You got to like you have to be like, you have to act as if like like this is your only way out, you know? Like you got to put all your eggs in one basket, and there's like, this is the only risk, the only chance to do it.
Take some risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah.
Is there ever doubt in your mind along the journey?
Sometimes, but I just overcome it, honestly. It was honestly like back then too, when I look back on it, I didn't follow like my Deen a lot at all, honestly. I started taking it more serious like recently. But I think if I did have that, I think I would have had more help. I would have felt more better. I honestly think I could have done more with basketball.
Wow.
If I had that. But like I started practicing more like my last couple years, and doubt doesn't really affect me as much anymore. I'm just confident. I'm confident in God's plan.
Yeah.
And whatever happens is already written. So that's just how I go. I just keep going.
How did you start getting more into Deen? Did something happen?
Yeah. Cause like after, so like I played 1 year in Kansas after that, and it didn't go that well. I was playing behind like a lot of Division I bounce backs. I still played, but it was a good experience. But like it just wasn't what I wanted. Like I was honestly, after that, I was pretty like devastated. Not devastated, but like I just didn't know what to do next. You know, I had a period where after that 1 year, I just didn't know what was my next chapter and what I wanted to do, because I kind of put everything into basketball, which that had its downfalls, had its positives. But like I would say that stage when I was like kind of lost, that's when I really came back to it and like did like a lot of research, because my dad is Christian and my mom is Muslim, so like I actually like grew up a little confused a little bit.
Oh, wow.
But like I really researched it and like came back to it, and it's definitely helped me a lot, like recently, especially now.
So growing up, did you follow religion, or you were kind of just split in between, or you weren't really invested into either one?
Like kind of growing up, I wasn't really invested. Like my mom would take me to the mosque, and my dad would take me to church. Like it was kind of crazy.
Competition.
Yeah, bro.
What's he gonna choose? Drum roll.
Bro, dead ass. That's seriously how it was.
But for you, like at the end of the day, it was like your journey. You know, it
Yeah.
didn't matter who took you where, what they
Exactly.
told you. You had to do your own research and
Yeah.
find your own path.
And that's how it is for everyone, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's when it becomes more sincere, you know, because I feel like a lot of us are kind of not forced, but like our parents guide us to doing it.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of just doing it because that's all you know. But when you like come back to it on your own and you know why you do everything and why this is important and how this helps you, like it's life changing.
Yeah.
It was for me.
One of the biggest things for athletes is, I mean, the mental game. Just
Yeah.
being mentally strong, right? And
Yeah.
like alhamdulillah, like, you know, that's one thing as a Muslim, when you really lock in and you learn it,
Bro.
the discipline and the mental strength and fortitude it can provide is ridiculous.
No, seriously, bro. Like, I can't explain it. Like, it's really changed my life. Just, like, it makes me want to do better. Like, it makes me more disciplined. Like, it doesn't, like, I don't worry about anything. Like, I know everything's in his control. So, like, I think it's very important.
Yeah. No, that's big. I mean, and I feel like in the sports community in general, like religion is starting to become like a big focus in a lot of athletes' credit to success.
Yeah.
You know, like I see a lot more athletes crediting like the faith they believe in, especially with like Muslim athletes. And you could tell just based off the stuff they say, whether it's in their training or it's in their daily routine, like how ingrained the religion has made them become more disciplined and help them, you know, grow in their field, you know.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people, a lot of Muslim athletes start to become a lot more outwardly Muslim when they saw Khabib.
Yeah, bro.
Khabib, I mean, he even inspired me, right? But
he's different.
Yeah, he's right. The mental fortitude that this guy probably has. There's like you probably can't measure it on a scale. You know, it's off the charts or something.
Oh my
but when
God,
he came out and he was just like, Alhamdulillah.
Yeah,
I know you guys don't like this, but Alhamdulillah, bro.
That video gives me goosebumps. Bro.
Yeah, dude, it's inspiring. And then next thing you know, all the other like Muslim athletes that you know they were Muslim but they never talked about it.
Yeah.
They started talking about it. They started saying like, Alhamdulillah, no, I'm Muslim.
Yeah,
You know,
bro, it's hard to talk about.
Did he affect you, or did any?
He definitely did, bro. He affected me. I'll be honest, bro. Like Andrew Tate affects me a little bit. Like, out here, bro. Like, cause he's I know it's maybe a little corny, bro, but like bro, to see him convert to that, bro,
Yeah.
that was crazy, bro.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Bro.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see it coming.
It added some credibility. I mean, because he was speaking some facts,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And you're like, where is this stemming from? And then he converts, and you're like,
Bro,
oh, okay, no,
yeah.
he's legit. Because then it tells you like this guy's really thinking, you know, he's
Yes,
he's
bro.
he's actually open to other ideas, and he's
Yeah.
really gonna critically think, and that's what he did, and he came. So then I was like, okay, like he has some credibility with me now.
Bro, seriously, because everything he preaches, like if you really think about it, it ties back to it.
Yeah.
Like you don't really notice it, like just being disciplined, like you know, like having a plan, like just you know, not being a crybaby. Like of course you're gonna face hardship, of course you're gonna go through challenges, but you just have to persevere through. Like you have to use those challenges to like build you up and overcome it and become someone, you know. And I feel like Islam really preaches that. Like it's something that's really like it helps humans, like it helps men,
Yeah.
you know.
It's
Like
for humanity. It's for us.
you. Yeah, exactly.
It's like a user manual, you know?
Yeah,
like
literally, bro.
you open up a new laptop. If you don't know how to use it, you got to read a book to figure it out or read the
Yeah.
user manual, you know?
Right.
And it's our user manual, you know? It's made
Man.
for us.
Nah, definitely, man. I just started like reading the Quran a lot more recently. I'm like halfway done with it.
Mashallah.
Mashallah, man,
Yeah,
that's
bro.
good.
That's
good.
awesome, man. Yeah.
Inspirational, I swear. Listening
Yeah.
here, like
Yeah,
I'm like, man, I
honestly.
need to do more.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
I want to get into now kind of like post basketball career.
Yeah, yeah.
So what happened after your career playing that 1 year at in Kansas?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what happened? You said you were lost, and then
Yeah.
what happened after that? You found yourself?
Yeah, honestly. So like I didn't really have a plan. I applied to a school in the Bay Area just to finish out. I had like 1 year left. So I went to Cal State East Bay. I didn't really know like what the next move was. I was working like at a recreation job, just like helping kids like after school program and like day camps like over summer. Like it was kind of miserable. Like I just did not enjoy that. But honestly, like the day camp I was working at, it was like a city, so they offered like classes, and I knew them like the workers like higher up, like, and I asked them like if I could start like basketball classes. That's where it started, because I was like, well, I like coaching, and like I'm trying to just figure out like how am I gonna go about it. So they let me start doing like classes like outside at the park. Just they offered it, and they paid me like a rate for every class that I ran. So I started doing that. That's when I first started training. This was literally last summer. This was like a year ago.
Oh wow!
Yeah, this was a year ago. So I was literally training kids at the park a year ago, and I was going to school at Cal State East Bay. And then, honestly, like it's kind of crazy, but one day I was at home just like chilling, and this guy like comes knocking on my door, and he's like, "Yo, I left my laptop here. Like my iPhone says I left my laptop here." And I'm like, "What are you talking about, bro? I don't have your laptop." So I go look, right? I was like, "Bro, I looked in my house. I don't have your laptop." He was like, "All right, maybe your neighbor has it." So he goes to my neighbor's house, and the laptop's there. This is, I know this sounds off topic, but just listen. He takes the laptop, and then he comes back. He's like, "Bro, the laptop was at your neighbor's house. Sorry that I barged in." And I was like, "Oh, no worries, man. It's all good." He was like, "Hey, by the way, wait, what do you do?" And I'm like, I'm kind of just figuring out, like, I train a couple kids here and there, like, for the rec." He was like, "Oh, no way, dude. Like, I'm an AAU director. Like, why don't you come, like, work out with my team?" And I was like, "All right, why not?" Bro, he gives me the key to his gym. Bro, wallah, bro. The key to his gym, bro. He gives me, like, all these clients, like, contact information. He was like, "Bro, you can train them. Like, here you go. Just reach out to them." And I was like, "All right, for sure, bro." Bro, he gave me a gym. He gave me, like, hella parents' information that wanted training. Like, I just contacted them. And then, bro, like, I just started training kids, like, at this gym that he had access to. And, like, that's where it started.
That's fake, bro. That's fake.
God, bro.
That's gotta be fake, bro.
Bro, it's nuts, bro. Bro, my mom calls him the angel, bro. Like, dead ass.
No, I'm serious. That's I've never heard a story like that.
Bro, it's crazy too because 2 months before, bro, like, I was like, Mom, like, I don't know what to do. Like, I was at home, bro, like, dead ass, just like, I don't know, like, what my next plan is. Like, I'm really, like, down. Like, she was like, don't worry, son. Like, everything's gonna be good. Like, Allah's gonna bring an angel to you at the door and everything's gonna work out. Bro, 2 months later, this shit happens, bro.
I'm getting goosebumps.
Bro.
That's crazy.
You can't make this up, man.
Bro, and this was after, bro, my first Ramadan. Like, the first Ramadan I ever did, all 30 days.
Wow.
That was last April.
That's God's plan, man.
Bro.
That's wild.
And then it keeps going from there, bro. So, like, after I was training at his gym, he got me a high school coaching job at the local high school.
You got a high school coaching job?
Yeah, right after.
That's legit.
Bro,
Yeah, that's a big
I
deal.
was coaching
That's a
high
huge
school.
deal.
Yeah, I was the assistant varsity coach. Like,
In varsity too?
yeah, like while in my
Wow.
last year of college. This was literally not even a year. This was like November, November, like 6 months ago.
So he was obviously impressed at your work for him to refer you to that, right? Like, obviously, if you didn't have that talent, if he didn't see
bro.
anything in you, he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
So you must have been doing the right things.
No, I was, bro. I was training like 4 or 5 different kids. 4 or 5 kids like per day. Just
Yeah.
all kind. Like, I was working.
And there was probably results.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that based off your own schedule or was that like
it was
given
off-
to you?
It was off my schedule. I could only do it at certain times when the gym was free. But yeah, like, I was basically just like talking to parents when they can train, and then I would start training them. I would do groups, kids. He got me. Yeah, that guy really blessed me for sure.
Did you try to did you maximize like all the free time that you had to just get as many people in?
Yeah, bro. So I was in school. I was doing that. I had another job. Like, I was working like a 9 to 5, and then like, I was super busy.
Man, how'd you have time? You were doing school 9 to 5 and
Bro.
this?
Bro, like,
Was this in the
crazy.
Chat GPT era?
It was.
Shout out Chat GPT.
Man.
bro.
No, but hey, no, even forget school. Just 9 to 5 and doing this and school, like that's a lot, you know.
Yeah,
That's
nah,
crazy.
This last year has been nothing but a grind, seriously. But like, coaching high school was really cool. Like, I was assistant varsity. I was training kids from there too, so a lot of things opened up.
Were these like things that you wanted to do, or you were just like a given opportunity? You were like, let me just see what this is like, if I like it or not.
The coaching was, I knew I kind of wanted to train. Like, that was like, I wanted to train kids. I kind of had a feel for that. But the coaching was kind of like, let me just try it. Like, it could help me get more clients. So
Could you see yourself like coaching in the future?
definitely, yeah, hopefully.
What would you say, as somebody like from outside the basketball community,
Mm-hmm.
coaching versus training? Give me the little differences here.
Coaching is like, so you have your team and it's like game plan. You're not really focused on like giving them skills and teaching them. Like, I'm not teaching them really how to make a layup. Like, I expect you to know how to make a layup, you know?
Okay.
Like, I expect you, my point guard, to be able to dribble. I expect, you know, my players to kind of know how to shoot, especially at the high school level. Like, coaching is kind of like, okay, I'm taking the best players and I'm putting together a plan to like win games.
Strategy,
Yeah, like strategy,
teaming, and stuff like
team-
that.
Teaming, and like, it's not really fair. Like, you know, players are gonna play more than the other. Like, it's not like, there's no favorites. It's just the best players are gonna play. Like, we want to win. And then training is like, okay, I'm breaking it down and I'm teaching you how to do certain stuff. Like, I'm teaching you how to dribble, how to make moves, how to make reads in the game, like when to use what finish, when, like, you know. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, I feel like maybe since you're a trainer, were you like were you in love with the technical aspect of the sport?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
and you saw it from that like perspective.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I love like just, I don't know how to explain it, but just like the movement aspect
Yeah.
and like how to get to certain spots and shooting, all that. Like watching NBA players is crazy to me. Like the things that they can do. Like it's yeah.
And it makes a big difference because, like I said, I don't hoop, but one day in college, I was on the court with my friends, and one of my buddies, he hoops a lot. And I was just like, shooting. It's just all freaking air balls and stuff. And he's like, look, like hold it like this, put your elbow like this,
Yeah.
He like taught me the form, and then he's like, put it up like this. And bro, literally the first shot I did, I made it.
Yeah, bro.
And I was like, wow, like, the technical aspect is so important.
It is, bro. Like you gotta know how to do certain things, how to perform certain movements the right way, because that's what's gonna help you perform better. And it's not only learning it, but you gotta rep it out too.
Drilling.
Yeah, like you gotta be able to do it in certain situations. Like if I'm teaching someone how to shoot, not only does he know how to shoot, but he's got to know when to shoot what shot, and he's got to know the correct footwork of it. He's got to have the correct this. Like it's just so much more into it than just teaching them how to shoot. Does that make sense?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Let me ask you, can a coach become a trainer, and then vice versa? Can a trainer become a coach? Like if they're good at one, does it translate that they'll be good at the other as well?
In my opinion,
Your opinion.
In my opinion, no. But some people will tell you otherwise. And my reasoning for it is because you can coach like a team, but like you can also like not know how to like make your players better as basketball players. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does.
Because I think there's a difference to me in like coaching a group and leading a group to victory than like breaking down a person and how can he specifically do better. Does that make sense?
No, I'm following.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, because I know in basketball there is overlap, like in practices where coaches set up like drills and stuff, and they try to like sometimes like execute, like try to make them better at a certain skill.
Yeah.
So if the coach was put in that situation, you think that it's not fair to assume that they would just be good at, like making the player better.
Yeah.
And same thing, if you're a trainer, you wouldn't be able to transition into a coaching role and know how to lead a team to like be successful.
I mean, I think it's like if you're a trainer, I think it's an easier transition to be a coach because it's more complicated and hard to like really, in my opinion, to really break down a player and know what the specific needs is of this player. I think it's a little bit easier to just be the leader and like have the team like rally the team and teach them different game plans. I think that's a little easier than training someone specifically. So like I think a trainer could easily adapt to a coach than a coach adapting to be like a trainer. If that makes sense.
No, that does.
Yeah.
That does.
Like the technical aspect of it, of knowing the game, or at least the movements and stuff, is probably, it's probably a little bit more difficult than being able to motivate a team and raise your voice a little.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you do have to know basketball to do either or.
For
if
sure.
That makes sense. Like you have to have some experience. Like whether you were a player or if you weren't a player, then you at least were like an assistant coach or like a volunteer. Like you got to know basketball.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
From my experience, like I like in wrestling at least, and I'm sure you guys can relate with basketball. Like I still call them coaches, but I felt like they were more trainers because they would like break down the move for me, right? Like inch by inch. You know what I mean? Like a move that like a coach would show you in like 2 steps, they'd be like, no, this actually has 10 steps in it. Like these little areas that they're just like it's just going, just assume that you might know. Mm-hmm. No, it's important. You got to focus on this, right?
Yeah.
But then like they could do that like one-on-one with people, right?
Yeah.
But then like the main, like the head coach, this guy would like be like on the sidelines during the match, and he'd be yelling and screaming and motivating you and like giving you strategies of like what position to choose.
Yeah.
They would know like like mentally, like how to motivate you. They could know when you're about to break and tell you like, look, don't give up right now. You better not give up on me right now. I know what's coming, and I know your potential. So I can see kind of like the differences, like between coach and trainer, like in terms of that too, a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think there's a huge gap. But when you look at like NBA teams, they have a specific role for each. So like, there's the coach, but then all the assistants are like, there'd be like player development coach. So they have those specific roles to like really lock in on certain players and make sure that like they're doing their job correctly. When the coach's job is to just get everyone and have them work together, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen that. I'll give you an example. I follow a lot of NBA basketball, and I'm kind of familiar with the like NBA trainers, like in the social media that are like famous. One person I was following was like Rico Hines. Is he a player development like trainer?
Yeah, I think he's actually a coach, like assistant coach.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. I remember he was famous for his UCLA runs. I think he still does them.
Yeah.
But then he became an assistant coach for the Sacramento Kings like 4 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was a coach before that. I could be wrong, but I don't remember him being an NBA coach before that. And he was doing player development. He would always be working with players one-on-one with the Kings during the season. Mm-hmm. And then he moved to Toronto, and I think he's a player development coach there, as far as I can remember. So is that common in the basketball world where the trainers eventually lead, like the next path is to become like a coach or development coach in that league? Or is it more so like a little bit more hybrid where it could just be them just working on their own, having their own thing, and not being a coach?
Yeah, it just kind of depends what they want, because I mean, not every famous trainer has access to be a coach in the NBA at the same time. So it's like you could be working with high players, but like, you know, you could also not have a connect to get you somewhere, you know? So I think it's just different. Like Rico Hines, I don't know him personally, but it's just like, I think it's really huge on what they want to do, and it's who they know as well. The big thing is who you know.
Nepotism?
Yeah. Huge.
Yeah. No, ever since Bronny James came in the league, I've been speaking a lot about that.
Bro. It is what it is.
Hey, that's how it is. Even in our industry, sometimes it's not about what you know, it's who you know.
No, that's in everything, man.
Yeah.
They can tell you it's not, but it is.
That's life.
That's reality.
And it's always been like that, and it's not going to change, unfortunately, but that's the name of the game.
That's the name of the game.
That's why I feel like it's important for Afghans here in America to
yes,
kind of
bro.
be on, like we want to put you on a spotlight so like people know, you know, because like in our community there really isn't nepotism because we don't really know like the successful Afghans out there, you know. But if we
gotta build our own network.
Exactly. And then if we can, you know, opportunities come about, we can help each other come up, make the path easier and shorter, because I mean, if other people are taking advantage of it in other communities, we should be able to as well, you know. So tell me, what do you do now in San Diego? I know you've now moved down here.
Why'd you move here too? Like, what's the story behind that?
Yeah, so I was coaching high school, and we had a tournament out here. So, like, when we came down here, I came with my camera guy, Isaiah, but he came with me. And we were coaching out here, and I was already training. Like, I had my business back home, and I had probably, like 15, 20 clients I was working with. But I just wanted to connect with people and, like, kind of, you know, learn more about it. So I basically hit up a couple big trainers out here. Like, I hit up J-Law. I went up there, and I hit up his name is R2Bball. He's a kind of a big trainer out in San Diego. And I hit him up, and I basically, like, just had to sit down with R2, and we talked for a while. I was just asking him a lot of advice, just like how he grew his business and how does he train. Like me and Isaiah went, and we had to sit down with him. And, you know, we had the notepad and everything. Like, we were just learning, learning from somebody who's obviously been in the game more and been, like, is very successful. So it was a cool opportunity. But just after that sit down, he basically offered me and Isaiah to like shadow him for like 3 months.
Wow.
He actually told us to come like that day. Like he said, come right now, and we were like, oh, bro, we have like business and school, like I can't come right now, but I want to come definitely. So then he told us to come in the summer, so we did.
Wow.
Yeah, we it was like a 6-month wait basically. Like we knew we were gonna come. I basically had to like finish school, stack up a lot of money, and like told my clients, I don't know when I'll be back, but we'll stay in touch.
So you're here for the foreseeable future?
Yeah, for now.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Definitely. But yeah, that's how that happened. That's why I'm down here. I'm basically just shadowing him. R2Bball. His name's Ryan.
Yeah, no, I see a lot of his videos on social media. He's big.
Yeah,
he's big. A lot of I've seen some of his videos on House of Highlights.
Yeah, bro.
And
he's legit.
I remember randomly seeing you on it for the first time, and then I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, wait, I think I've seen him before because I followed you on social media, so
yeah.
I was like, I was following your content.
Yeah.
And then I seen you post on your story, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like I think I think I put one and one together, and I was like, okay, I think you're probably working with him now, which was a big deal because his content was everywhere, and it still is. Like I see his stuff everywhere.
Nah, yeah, he's a special guy, bro. He's a real entrepreneur. Like he knows his stuff.
Was it easy to get in touch with him?
Yes and no. I mean, I like reached out a couple times and he responded. So, I mean, when he did, I just took advantage of the opportunity. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really put a lot of people on a pedestal.
Yeah.
So, I just did it, you know.
And that's great. It worked out.
Yeah.
You're down here. Do you feel like you're getting a lot of valuable experience in your time here?
Nah, a lot, man. Like I've worked with all kinds of players since being here. He's really helped me become a better trainer. He's taught me the business side of things. He's taught me like how to run a gym and how to get more clients, you know. So like it's definitely been like a really good experience so far. It was worth it.
I have a question. So R2, you guys said?
Yeah.
So he's a famous trainer, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's lots of people that would want to basically have him mentor them, but you got that opportunity. So why do you think he gave you that opportunity?
I think because he saw like just my persistent effort. Like I kind of already had my own thing back home, and like when we talked, like he really saw like how like just locked in we were, and he really saw like the hunger, you know. Like you gotta like really show that you want it, like, you know, like it's a hard balance. Like you can't be like a fanboy, you know. You can't be a fanboy, by the same time you can't act like you don't care.
Yeah.
So it's you gotta find that balance, and I think just me, who I am, like a very hard worker, someone who finds a way to get it done. I feel like he saw that.
I could attest to that. Just sitting here, the conversation we've had, I feel like you are a very persistent person.
Yeah.
Doesn't give up, take no for an answer. No matter what you face, just I'm going through it, doesn't matter.
No, I appreciate that.
Let me ask you, since you've like learned the business at the highest level and you've been around that now, for someone watching and that's interested in becoming a trainer, whether it's in basketball or another sport, like an Afghan community, our parents in the community kind of pushes you to be more practical, pick a career that's either being a doctor or things like that.
Yeah.
How would you say becoming a trainer is, and like, would you recommend this for other people out there? And what kind of person would you recommend this for?
Yeah, being a trainer, like specifically basketball, or even like any type of trainer. You could be I think a weight room or whatever 24-hour fitness trainer. Essentially, like if you want to run your own business and be your own boss, I think you really have to sacrifice a lot. Like you have to really be wanting to take risks, and you have to accept that like a lot of people, especially in our community, like they're not really going to understand what you're doing. They're not really going to know why. And you have to be able to push past that. Like, you have to believe in your own vision before it even comes to life. Like, that's one thing that I've learned, is you have to, it's only up to you to, like, really make it happen. And, like, and it's not going to be easy, because, like, anything you want in life is rough. Like, it's going to be hard. Anything great comes with so many challenges, bro. So, like, you're going to have to get, like, literally punches in the face, setbacks, hate from friends, family. All of that's going to come with being your own entrepreneur. So I would say, like, I think if you want to do it, but, like, you have to be ready to be committed and be ready to take sacrifices a lot.
What are some sacrifices that you had to make?
Like free time, like going out, even sacrifices seeing my family as much as I want to see. Like, when you work a regular job, like, people can attest, I can attest, I worked a regular job. You have a set schedule, set routine. Something like this, like, Mikey Williams want to work out, like, oh, I'm dropping everything, I'm going. Like, oh, we have this workout here, okay, we're going. Like, it's 10 p.m., like, we're going here. We get a text, like, 2 hours before, oh, this guy's coming in, be here in 30 minutes. So, like, it's just stuff like that's going to pop up. It's just being able to adapt and adjust. Like, you gotta be able to just persevere through it, you know?
So it sounds like what I'm understanding is, when you become a personal trainer, you're essentially your own boss, right? And you get the freedom of, like, your own schedule, but with that comes the other stuff that comes with having your own business is like, you have to make it your priority. You have to sacrifice other stuff like family, free time, especially for someone that's young, like in their 20s, like, that's kind of hard. You get FOMO, bro, sometimes seeing people at your age, like, partying and stuff, but staying locked in and focused on your goal and mission, just do what you got to do for the greater good, and knowing that there's something better in the future for you.
No, exactly, man. And I think it's big in your 20s to take that risk and lock in. I feel like in our 20s, like, we're in our prime years, and, like, if you want to have something great when you're older, like, you got to put the time in now,
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with, like, working a regular job or whatever. If that's what you want to do, go and do it. But I mean, I just feel like if you really want to do your passion, do something that you really love, and, like, you're gonna have to take those sacrifices of not going out and doing all the extra fun stuff that you normally would do.
Would you say you have to be really passionate about this career field?
Yeah, definitely. Like, you can't be a trainer and have no energy, like, not like it, and you're just gonna be miserable. You have to like what you do, whether it's basketball training or any sport training. Really, you really got to enjoy what you do. You got to enjoy interacting with people, enjoy helping people. Like, you're like a therapist, coach, mentor. You're like everything in one. Like, so, yeah.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Working with people is not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because you're not just providing them, like, like, you're providing them a service, a tool. Like, they have emotions, they have their days off. Like, there's so much to factor in.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, like, props to you and, anyone who works with people.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's definitely a real grind.
What's the hardest part about your job?
The hardest part about my job, I would say, is, like, showing that same energy, like, every time, right? Because it's like, think about it like this. Like this week, I've had workouts, like, every day from, like, 8 to, like, 7 p.m. Like, a couple breaks in between, obviously. But, like, that kid is coming in for that hour. That's probably his only workout for the next week, right? So he's not going to come in anytime.
Right.
And the only time he's there is when he sees me. So it's like, I have to be, like, the best I can be for that kid's 1 hour. But I also have to do that for the next 8 workouts in a row. That makes sense? So,
that
like,
does, yeah.
You can't have one kid come in and you're just not there energy-wise. You're not, like, if you have a bad day, bro, you got to brush that shit off. You know? Like, this kid is coming to work out. You got to give him a good workout. You got to make him not want to think about going somewhere else or think that I don't want to see him, you know? So it's just showing that passion and energy for every single kid is like, or every single workout class it's tough.
So just being consistent.
Yeah, just being consistent. Yeah. It's not easy, but like I still would rather do this type of job than anything else. Yeah.
When you're passionate about something, it makes anything hard like a lot easier versus if you weren't.
That's the biggest thing I learned from Ryan, like R2 so far. I think the last 2 months is just being able to show up every single day, like seeing his schedule, showing up, being there, being a vocal leader. Like it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, because you train like young kids to like professional athletes, right?
Yeah.
How does the shift work? Like how is it different? Like when you train like someone who's probably playing basketball for the first time in their career versus someone who is like a professional and is like at the top of the level.
Yeah, bro. So I would say like somebody who like a young kid, you're more teaching. You're more like literally showing them how to do certain things, like how to make the layup or how to do this move or like why you do this move. Compared to like somebody who's at the highest is just like you're not teaching them. Like what am I gonna teach LeBron James? Or he's LeBron James, right?
Right.
You're just kind of like directing them and like kind of you're telling them what to do, but you're not like teaching them how to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if it's a high level player, you're like, all right, catch here, boom, I want one counter, get into the rim, finish through contact, right? Simple. Or like right here, drift threes, like you're gonna tap the pop up and fade down. You got to make 10 in a row. Let's go. Like it's just straight to it,
right?
Straight to the work. If it was like a kid, it's like okay, or if he's never played basketball, it's like it's like so the layup is like you step here and you step here. You got to have your hand here. Like does that kind of make sense?
It does. Is it more challenging for someone who doesn't know how to play basketball, or is it challenging equally but just in different ways?
Different ways, because it's like you got to give the good player a good workout. You got to make him feel like he got his sweat in, like he feels challenged. You have to challenge the good player, and then you have to really teach and be patient with the new player. Does that make sense?
No, that does.
Yeah.
I never thought of it that way, but it makes a lot of sense. Because every time I see like NBA players training, like they're going hard, and it's like they're doing some like unorthodox like training routine usually. So let me ask you this. This is more of like just my curiosity. What, from your experience of training like an NBA player versus like a college player, what's like the biggest difference you notice between those two athletes?
NBA and college?
Yeah. Like let's say a D1 player and then an NBA player. It could be skill-wise. It could be just mentality, anything. Like something that just stands out to you. Like, okay, this guy, that's why he's an NBA player.
I would say it really depends because, like, to be honest, there is some college guys. It really depends, like, who the player is, you know?
Yeah.
I think that question was it's just a little too broad, honestly, because it's like there's D1 players who really can, like, play with the NBA guys, you know? But, like, what I would say in general, like, if we're just being in general, like, I would say NBA players, they just have a mindset, like they're more mature, like they've been at the top of the top. So like they just know like what to expect. And like I would say they're more routine orientated based. Like they have their routine set, like everything is just kind of set in place. And I would say like a college player is just like a lot of them, they're usually like they're just young and like it's kind of just still a little bit like I don't know how to explain it, but like
just like raw talent.
Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like,
the NBA player is more put together.
Yeah, like if I was working on I would say like an NBA workout would be like really specific on what he needs to improve on. Where like a college player, like you could just work on probably a little bit more of different things.
Yeah.
But then again, it all depends on like who that player is.
Right.
Like, every player is different.
So would you go as far as say like you could notice a difference skill level wise, or
yeah, I would be able to notice the skill wise.
Okay.
Between the NBA and college, definitely.
So when people say like the difference between the college and NBA is like a huge gap, you would also attest to that and say that's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I got a question too. So you've trained NBA players before, right?
yeah.
And so with them, you said that the way you're training them, you're not teaching them. You're just you're setting the schedule of I'm gonna run through these drills and then these, right? Versus younger players, you're actually teaching them like the footwork and the strategy, when to do what. When it comes to those NBA players, right? These guys have probably been through thousands of workouts, seen hundreds of different trainers.
Exactly.
How are you getting creative to like keeping them engaged and making them feel like at the end of the day, oh, like this was a good workout. I haven't had a workout like this, in a while. Like, what do you have to do to set yourself apart at that level?
Yeah. Honestly, for someone like such high level, if I'm working with them, like I wouldn't be too worried about like trying to like be way different than somebody else. Like I would just want to make sure that like we got what he needed to get done, if that makes sense. Like I'm not worried about like, oh, like this other trainer did this, like how can I be more creative? I'm more like, okay, this guy needs to do this, so like we're gonna do this.
And do they tell you before the session like, hey, I'm trying to work on this aspect of my game right now?
High level players do say that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They'll say that sometimes.
Because they were more intentional about what they need to get done.
Yeah.
You said it, they're mature too.
Yeah, you also should know, like you should be prepared.
Okay.
Like, you should also know. I think it's both ways.
And then it's like, and like, so you're saying it's totally okay to just be orthodox and hit those drills that like they're they're tried and tested.
Yeah, yeah. Like I think repeating stuff is fine. Like I'm not trying to like out creative somebody else. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm not worried about that. I just want to make sure that player got what he needed, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference of like which group you like to train the most, whether it be like youth, like high school kids, college kids, high level guys?
I like training probably older players. They're like I like running through workouts where like they're more experienced, because it's like I feel like just right now I can relate more to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like being that I was at that level, like at a college level, being able to train like high school, college guys, I like that because like I feel like because I went through what they went through, like I can relate to them more and I can get more personable with them, like it feels more like a relationship at times, because like I was in their shoes, like trying to get a scholarship, trying to do this, like trying to get my name out there. So like I like running workouts like that. But any workout is good, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I want to change the topic or something, but I want to see if you have anything else you want to ask.
No, what are you trying to jump into?
I want to get into like the Afghan basketball community.
Afghan basketball, we can.
I want to get into that. I want to see how much like how well invested you are in that and your thoughts and stuff, because you're definitely a far better player than I am. So I definitely want to get your thoughts if you know. But I'm sure you're probably aware, but Afghanistan, we've competed in I don't think the Olympics, but I think like
really?
Some kind of like whether it was FIBA or like gold medal games in the past, like talking about the 2000s. Did you know that?
I actually didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. I know Afghanistan has a gold medal. They beat India in I think it was South Asian, like some. I don't want to.
It was a tournament full of like South Asian countries, so they didn't just beat India; they won the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, when was this?
This was, I think, 2005 or 6. I could be wrong.
Mm.
I could be wrong, but it was in the 2000s.
Yeah.
And I think Mamo Rafiq was the national team's head coach at that time.
Really?
Yeah,
I
he
think
was.
so.
That's
He
a-
was.
Oh, yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah.
Mateen's dad, right? Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
let me ask you. I don't know how well you know, but we have a couple of like D1 like Afghan basketball
Yeah.
players. Did you know any like, or were you connected to any growing up during like your high school and like college career, or were
Yeah.
you?
I wasn't like growing up in high school just because like I just wasn't really around the community as much
Yeah.
around that time. I was like mostly living with my dad, like here and there. But I do know some players now. Like,
Yeah.
I know Mateen, he's really good.
Yeah.
He's really good. Like he's gonna go to I forgot what school it was.
He's going to Cornell.
Cornell, yeah, that's
Yeah.
a really good school. So
Yeah.
I've talked to him a couple of times. I know that one kid from Cal is really good.
Yeah, for Dallas AMAC.
Yeah, he's solid. But yeah, just like growing up, nah, I wish I did. I wish I
Yeah.
would have. I was always cool, like just this is just for fun. But like the soldiers.
Yeah, the Concord
We
Soldiers.
play in those Afghan tournaments, and we play in like the whatever like South Asian tournaments
Yeah.
just for fun. So we would do that.
This is when you were younger?
Yeah, when I was younger, I did that.
Did you ever go to Virginia to play?
So they did. I didn't go to Virginia, but we actually came to like San Diego before and played. I played with them.
They had tournaments here in San Diego?
Yeah, bro.
When was this?
This is when I was like in 8th grade, bro. I came with all of them, bro. Like, I don't know if I should name drop, but like Ahmad. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
He told me, because they even have like YouTube videos of those tournaments, like the
Yeah.
championship games and stuff. But that was like, I think that was even in like the 2000s. What I've heard like a lot from a lot of like the OGs is that Afghan basketball, at least in California or in America, was like, it was popping in the 2000s. Then there was like this huge gap where there was like the people who would always put these like tournaments and things together kind of like stopped doing it.
Yeah.
And then there was no one else to ever do it.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of this like history before I started like putting together like, I've only done 2 tournaments, but I think since the last people in California, I've been the only one to do it. There was one in San Diego,
Really?
I think 2 years ago. I don't know if you heard about
I heard
it.
of it. Yeah.
There was one, that happened, but I think before that there wasn't a while. But in
Yeah.
Virginia, in the East Coast, they've been doing it yearly. So shout out to them. They've been keeping Afghan basketball they've been keeping it alive. So
That's sick.
I'm going again. They have a Labor Day tournament in September. So
Really? Oh yeah.
that's
you
gonna
should go.
happen.
Are you gonna play in it, or you're gonna just go?
I mean, I'm mainly going to network.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play too, but like, I mean, no offense to my team, but we're not like we're not going like to. I know we're not good enough to win or anything, but we're gonna go and have fun. But mainly just to connect with all like the Afghan guys over there because
Yeah, that's sick.
they have a huge basketball community in the East Coast.
I know they do. Yeah. I want to go over there one day, but yeah, I never have.
Yeah.
Do you want to connect with the Afghan basketball community and have like that network, work with
Definitely.
them, and share ideas and
Yeah.
get together like that?
Yes,
You're
bro.
interested in that?
Yeah, bro, that'd be sick, bro.
If you guys are watching, hey, you know what to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what to
let's
do.
connect for real.
Yeah.
Thing is also, there's not a huge Afghan basketball community.
Yeah, there's not. It's
There's
yeah.
not. People tell me like I'll talk to the OGs. They'll be like, "No, there's a huge community." But I'm like, "No, there's not." Like I've seen in California like the community. It's not as big as they think it is.
Yeah.
I've seen the soccer community because I've
That's
done
way
soccer
bigger.
tournament. It's huge.
Yeah.
Everyone plays soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's way bigger.
The soccer community is big.
Yeah.
So to me, like I have a scale. Like when people tell me like, "Oh, the Afghan community for basketball is big," I've seen the ones in soccer, and I'm like, "Yo, this is not even close."
Yeah.
But when I've done soccer tournaments, teams like I'm talking about the tournaments we've had is like ones that our school used to host at UC Davis.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a serious tournament. It's just like a 7-on-7, no legit refs or anything.
Yeah.
We got 16 teams. People coming from like San Diego. We got people coming from like the Bay Area. Teams coming from all over for a tournament that's not even that serious. But like that's how passionate like and big the community is for soccer.
Yeah.
I would love to see that for basketball.
Bro.
I'm hoping there's a lot of new Afghans in Sacramento. I hope like that whole community like somehow gets into the basketball community, because I really want to see one day an NBA basketball player that's Afghan.
Man, bro, seriously, that'd be so sick.
They're playing cricket, bro.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Afghanistan cricket.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you were up to date or if you kept up with that, but Afghanistan's team was doing amazing at the World Cup, the Cricket World Cup.
Nah, I haven't been, but that's awesome.
Yeah.
Bro. I don't know. I've been so busy, bro.
Yeah, no, you've been grinding, bro. You've been grinding, yeah. But the team, shout out to the Afghan cricket team. Like back when my parents lived in Afghanistan, there was nobody played cricket, and
Really?
and then next thing you know, like 40 years later, like they're one of the top teams in the world, bro. They went to the semis, right?
Yeah, they went to the semis.
So like top 4 in the world, basically.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
that's a big
Dude,
deal.
like, I don't really know what cricket is. Like, how do you even play it?
I don't know much.
I don't know
about
the
cricket
rules
either.
either, bro. I was just watching because they were doing well.
Like,
Yeah.
you have is it like kind of like soccer or no?
No, it's like baseball.
It's like baseball.
It's-
Oh wait, now I remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like baseball.
It's like baseball, but the rules are different. And I don't know how the scoring works either, because
Yeah,
baseball is like final scores like 7-2. This is like 120 to 150, something like that.
Well,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, while we're like on the topic, you know, of the Afghan youth and them potentially getting into these different sports and stuff, I definitely want to wrap this up with you, and getting your message out, whatever heartfelt, whatever you have that you want to share with the community. Now's your time to share that.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I would just say like a big thing for like the Afghan community is like, I think just from where I come from is like those struggles we all faced like growing up, whether it be from back home or just what you endure out here. I think it's for the better good, and like don't ever think like just because you go through hardship that there's no ease coming. So just always have faith that like you can make through it and you can become something. Like I feel like we were all put out here for a reason, and we all have our purpose. So if you have days where you're just feeling down and you don't want to keep going, just remember that, and just keep going, keep trying to find a way, like network, like go meet people, start that business, start the podcast, like just get over the fear, because you can do it. And like I'm not even like, I don't even think I've been as successful as I can be yet. Like I think I still have a lot more room to grow, and like no matter what happens, I'm gonna keep pushing and keep fighting and keep trying to achieve my goals. So I just want everyone to just have that same mindset. Like you can do it. Like it doesn't matter where you come from.
That's facts. And if there's anything I learned from your story and talking with you here is that, giving up should never be an option.
Nah, especially where we come from, bro.
Yeah.
Like just my mom never gave up. Our parents never gave up when like they were going through the worst of the worst. So
Yeah.
we have no reason to give up.
That whole country, has been going through it, but
Man.
people they're grinding, they're working towards something better every single day.
Man. No, seriously.
Yeah. No, being resilient also, like just never giving up, like kind of just basically what I'm summing up from like your whole journey is just no matter what you face, just never give up and just be persistent and just keep trying to get to your end goal.
Yeah.
Johnny, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot. Honestly, I'm a big fan of the work you do just because I love basketball.
Yeah.
I love what you're doing. I love that there's an Afghan like in this space, seeing your growth in such a short period.
Mm-hmm.
We will continue to support you, follow your journey. If there's anybody out there that wants to reach out and connect to you, we'll put your social media stuff out there. Make sure they get in touch with you.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you again so much. Honestly, like we're here shooting this in San Diego. We honestly came out because we wanted to see you.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to talk to you. So thank you again for your time, man. And wishing you nothing but the best and luck going forward in your career.
I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you for having me, man. Thank
Absolutely,
you so much.
man.
Pleasure to meet you
Thanks,
guys.
Johnny. Good meeting you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us at the Majlis podcast. We would love your support, so please like, comment, share, and subscribe.